Welcome back to another Kills of the Week. Here we have Chapter 4 of Fractured Futures. Let me know what you guys think of the story so far, and let's get into it.
I broke the armor. Under fire. Inserting armor. I broke the armor. Switching megs. I broke the armor.
Chapter 4. The child he didn't kill. The monastery sat on the edge of the world. At least, that was how it felt to Mara when the chrono jump ended and cold mountain air slammed into her lungs. Stone walls rose from jagged cliffs like something grown rather than built, their surfaces worn smooth by centuries of wind and prayer. Bells tolled faintly somewhere above her, their sound swallowed quickly by fog. Northern Europe, year 1046. Mara steadied herself, boots crunching against frost-hardened dirt, the adaptive cloak tightened around her shoulders, shifting into heavy with the color of old ash. Somewhere inside the monastery, a child was supposed to die. She hated missions like this. Her scanner pulsed urgently. Sharp, rhythmic signals that told her she was late. Temporal residue burned bright and recent, like a wound that hadn't begun to close. She broke into a run. The monastery doors were thrown open. Monks gathered in clusters across the courtyard, their murmured prayers overlapping into a low, anxious hum. One of them knelt on the stone steps, hands slick with blood, staring down at his palms as if he couldn't understand how they had come to be stained. Mara pushed past him. Inside, the air was thick with incense and panic. A boy lay on the floor near the altar, curled on his side, small body trembling violently. Blood seeped from a shallow cut along his arm. Not fatal, not even close. A warning wound. Mara dropped to her knees beside him. "Hey," she said gently, switching her translator to a softer register. "You're safe. I've got you." The boy's eyes were huge, glassy with fear. He couldn't have been more than 8. His hair was pale, nearly white blonde, cropped short in the monkish fashion. "He was here," the boy whispered. "The man with the light." Mara swallowed. "Did he hurt you?" The boy shook his head, breath hitching. He stopped. Something cold twisted in her chest. He said my name. The boy continued. And then he said, "Not yet." Mara felt the world tilt slightly, like a misaligned gear grinding in a clock. "What's your name?" she asked. The boy hesitated, then whispered it as if afraid the word itself might summon the man back. "Elias." The name struck her like a blow. She didn't know why, not yet, but it landed deep, echoing through her mind with unsettling familiarity. Behind her, a monk cleared his throat nervously. "The child claimed an apparition attacked him," he said. "A demon, perhaps." Mara stood slowly. "Where did it go?" The monk pointed toward the rear corridor. There was light, and then nothing. Mara followed the corridor to a narrow stone passage that ended in a simple wooden door. The air here buzzed faintly, charged with wind distortion. He'd been standing here longer than usual, waiting. She knelt and touched the floor. Still warm. "Why didn't you kill him?" she whispered to the empty space. For a long moment, nothing answered. Then the air shimmered. Blue light coalesced into a familiar shape. The killer stood before her, half solid, like a ghost still deciding whether to exist. "You know why," he said softly. Mara's weapon was already raised. "Step away from the child." "I was never going to hurt him," the man replied. His voice was different now, less mocking, more strained. "Not today." "Then why are you here?" His gaze drifted past her, through the stone walls, toward the room where Elias lay surrounded by frightened monks. "Because this is where it starts," he said. "What starts?" she demanded. He looked back at her, eyes dark and tired in a way that made her chest ache despite herself. "Everything," he said. The scanner on her wrist screamed. A surge, wild and unstable. "Don't," she warned. "If you jump now..." "I know," he said. I always know.
Inserting armor.
For just a second, he hesitated. Not fear, not uncertainty. Grief. He stepped backward into the light. Tell him, the killer said, voice almost breaking, that I tried. The blue glow flared and vanished. The corridor went silent. Mara stood there long after the temporal residue faded, her weapon still raised, heart pounding so hard it hurt. She had never seen him hesitate before. Elias clutched her cloak as she led him into the sunlight of the courtyard. The monks watched with wary reverence, crossing themselves as if she were something between an angel and a curse. He said he'll come back. Elias whispered, when I'm important. Mara stopped walking. The bells overhead tolled again, deep and slow. Did he say why? She asked quietly. Elias shook his head, just that I wasn't ready yet. Mara knelt in front of him, gripping his shoulders gently. Listen to me. No matter what happens, no matter what anyone tells you, you matter now. You always have. Elias stared at her, eyes solemn. You talk like you know him. Mara had no answer for that. She arranged protection for the monastery, temporal dampeners disguised as holy relics, woven carefully into the fabric of the era. It wouldn't stop the killer forever, but it might slow him down. As she prepared to leave, Elias ran after her. Will you come back? He asked. Mara hesitated. I don't know, she said honestly. He nodded, as if that answer made sense to him. He said you would. The word sent a chill through her. Back in 2147, Mara stood in the glow of the Time Guard archives, staring at a name pulsing softly on the holoscreen. Elias Ward, born 1038, died 1112. Historically insignificant, until a footnote appeared beside his record. Founder of the Ward line, direct ancestor of Elias Ward, 2179 to 2190. Mara's blood ran cold. Another search populated the screen. Elias Ward, 2179 to 2190. High Chancellor, architect of the Time Regulation Treaty. The law that would one day outlaw time travel. The law that would end men like the killer. Mara leaned back, breath shallow. He wasn't killing at random, she whispered. He was pruning the timeline, and he just spared a branch that mattered. Somewhere in the time stream, gears were turning, slow, deliberate, inevitable, and the child named Elias was at the center of it all.
I broke their armor. Loading new men. I broke their armor. No one's out of reach. Switching mags. Let's get to work.
Enemy soldier incoming.
I'm hit. Inserting armor. Switching
Gas
mags.
is inbound.
Reloading mag. Reloading mag.
No challenges. It's your lucky day, soldier.
Back in the AO.